Well, today I'm playing with Atlas index centers and see if we can make a little bit of progress. So the project for this afternoon is we've already got it set up here in the mill, but I'm working on the index bracket that goes on the mill. This was the original one that I had with the headstock that I got, and it fits on that way. So I've already got it set up in the mill. We're going to cut our slot here, which is just a 3/8 slot, and then it's a slightly smaller slot for the bolt hole that only goes partially through. So I've already got it centered up in the middle pretty well here, and we're just going to do a cut and fit here until we get what we want. And it looks like we're pretty well situated here. Let me move this camera down a little bit so you get a little better view. And we're just set up on a parallel, balanced. We've zeroed out for center, and we're just going to take a cut all the way through here. Let's see, let's set up power feed. We're going to run this fairly slow. High range, let's run it about there. Let's run it about there. See how it's going to act. That's going to be perfect. Now I think I'll set up the Superfly, and we'll just take a couple of passes across there to give us a nice flat surface for that to bear on. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Got a little bit of porosity in that casting. Evidently I poured that a little bit hot, it looks like, or that may have been just some scrap that I had. But I think that looks okay. There's what it looks like from the front. There's what it looks like from the back. We have to deburr it before it'll fit on here. And there's the way it fits on. like our elevation's pretty good there. I think we'll go ahead and we'll bolt them together, and then I think we'll have to put a center back in there so we've got a guide. Then we'll probably mount it on an angle plate. I think we've got this smooth enough to be able to index that. Other option is go ahead and once we surface the bottoms of these, then it'll mount up square to an angle plate, and we can do that. But we've got us an index mark on the top. Looks like we're at 90 degrees, so I think that looks pretty good. I'll just set it on the surface plate, double check that our alignment's right here, and then we can go ahead and spin it up. We'll just mount it on an angle plate this way, and we can drill it. We'll find our center here, and we'll put this back on. We'll go ahead and drill it on center for our index pin. Actually, one clamp's probably great aplenty to hold it, but since we got two here, let's use two. Now we want according to my little notes, we want a 3/16 hole all the way through. And then we're going to countersink it with a 5/16. That should work. Everything's tight. Let's bring this down a little bit closer. Bit. Get us a little bit nicer center going there. Yeah, that's only a little bit crooked, but I'll bet it'll work just fine. And the last thing is we're going to switch around, clamp her down to the table, and we've got to drill our lock pin right there. Alright, this should be the last setup for the day. All I'm doing is drilling and tapping for a hole, or for a lock stud for our to lock it in place. Now I am making a change on this one, and all it is just a drilled and tapped hole. This was tapped 1032. Since this is an aluminum casting, I'm going to use 1024. Other than that, why they're going to be, there's no difference in them. And all it is just in the, let me check alignment here. That'll be it. And that'll be it right there. Actually, let's run it a little bit farther back here. Right there, I think. And we're going to use a stub drill bit rather than the jobber length. And tap size for a 1024 is going to be a 1024 is going to be a number 25. Okay. Now we'll have to build a custom lock for that, so I can't lock it in place, but we can do a little bit of a trial fit here. See what adjustments we're going to have to make. Yeah, we're going to have to shave the back of this a little bit. Our index pin is a little bit too far out. That will sit in there like that. Yeah, we need to shade the back. Although our nut that goes in here, I could just vary the width on that just a little bit, and that would bring us back into alignment. But that will be spring loaded so that we can set it about there, it looks like. There's our index. Once everything's bolted together, that will do just fine. So there's one more piece of the puzzle done. We've got, I think, both our castings pretty well done. I've got a couple of adjustments to do on the other, on the tailstock casting. And for prototyping, we're going to go ahead and use this casting here. It's not perfect, but it'll get us going. So there will be our tailstock. Except it sits like this, I guess. So it won't be long, we'll have a set of index centers. So we need to get this project finished up, at least this first one done, and that way we can move on to other projects that need to be finished up, of which there's a never-ending list. So yeah. Clean up this end, it still is all rough castings. So anyway, there's where we are. Hopefully you found this a little bit interesting, and if you haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, and if you hit that bell notification, you'll know when I put out a new video. Any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.